Yes, it was a pleasure to meet you too, Prince Reginald. I would love to speak more on the benefit of our kingdoms combining in the future. For now, though, I really do have quite a lot of people to meet. You should go enjoy the festivities. Oh, dear Knight, is that you? Ah, good. I'd been hoping it was. With the increased venue, it's been harder to tell who has made their way up to the throne to meet me. You know, I've had more than one suitor kiss my hand before I even knew what was happening. Seems like there are far too many people here with elevated egos and... well, I shouldn't be complaining, really. I'm honestly surprised that there are as many people as there are. I'm understanding that the kingdom of Nighthold is rather renowned. My father spent years cultivating this land and protecting the people who lived in it, much like his father before him. Can't exactly blame these princes for seeing the blind princess as a way to get more than they can give. They offer sweet words and hollow promises, but every dance I can hear the annoyance in their voices, the growing frustration when I'm not able to comment on their dashing appearances, when I misstep and collide into another couple. They don't seem to understand the struggles that I deal with. All they see is the crown atop my head, not the person underneath. Ah, you too wonder why my parents would have chosen this arrangement. Well, from what I've ascertained over the course of this event, there are 3-ish main reasons. First, most likely reason, is to paint the illusion of choice, despite my disabilities. You see, as a blind princess, many in the court already doubt my independence. They believe that I simply follow what I'm told, that I have no voice. But hosting this ball, my parents, have given me the chance to quiet the whispers among the nobles. Even if each of these princes were handpicked by my parents, I still have the ability to choose amongst them of my own free will. Yes, even if most of those choices have been less than ideal. But I can't blame my parents for that. Second, this kingdom and its people need legitimacy. Nobles are more likely to accept my husband if he's chosen in a public, ceremonial way. A ball is a fabulous way to turn the political into something fantastical. A decision as important as who will rule the kingdom when my father passes away needs to be made in the loudest, most confident way possible, to prove to the other nobles that the kingdom will continue to thrive despite my father's disappearance. It's more or less of a romantic spectacle, making it seem as though results was ordained by fate rather than strategy, though I would have rather had something more personal. I understand the reasonings my parents had, and I respect them. The last reason I believe my parents chose to host a ball, to give me a choice, is because my parents are genuine good people. They care about me. I think that they want me to find true love, rather than condemn me to a loveless, cold marriage. This ball, however flawed as it may be, is their attempt to let affection grow naturally. I'm sure they believe that by letting the princes court me of their own volition, they might treat me more kindly than the ones who were forced into it, something I also understand and truly appreciate. But I fear that they fail to understand what I truly need. My parents believe that grandeur and opportunity will reveal character, but none of these princes truly care about who I am, about the things I feel, or the words I speak. When I ask a question out of simple curiosity about the world around me, I can feel their false understanding, their annoyance at my disability. It's exhausting, really. Perhaps I could use a small break. Would you be willing to lead me out to the balcony, my knight? Ah, it's much better already. I feel I can finally breathe, like maybe there isn't a whole kingdom riding on this next decision. You know, standing here with you feels strangely familiar. It reminds me when we were younger, when you would escort me through the gardens after my lessons, long before the court decided I needed twice as many tutors and half as much freedom. You were so quiet back then, always a step behind, yet somehow always close enough that I never felt alone. When I lost my sight, it was you who learned the paths with me all over again. You counted my steps when I was afraid to walk on my own. You described the training yard so vividly that I could hear the clash of steel in your voice. You read to me when my hands trembled too much to hold a book. And when I grew frustrated, you never once sounded tired. Even as the years passed and your armor grew heavier, you never treated me as fragile. You let me stumble. You let me learn. You stayed. Dear Knight, would you mind telling me how the stars look tonight? Beautiful. You've always had a way with words. You describe the world around you with such detail, as if you know every word in existence and just how to use it. Though it has been over a decade since I've witnessed any of the things you so patiently describe, I feel as though I see them clear as day. The chandeliers glowing like constellations above us, warm but not harsh. The way the air carries rose and dust as if the garden is listening. You always find a way to make the practical seem magical. And of course, you're always the one to tell me how others around me act. How in the whole room the only real smile was my own. How the guests lean towards me, but don't know how to stay. Everyone else watches, but you, my knight, you're the only one who stays. Perhaps I've been looking at this all wrong, as funny as that sounds. I thought that this ball would be a disaster, proof that people would never see me for more than my disability. That no prince could ever love a princess who couldn't even see their face. But perhaps it wasn't the princes whom I should have been focusing on. You've always been by my side, a quiet sentinel, a wise teacher, a guiding voice. You've been patient with me when all others have chosen exasperation. Even when you were dismissed halfway into the night, you chose to stay by my side. At first, I thought it was simply to enjoy the ball a bit longer before returning to your chambers, but no, you remained, a constant presence of comfort in the sea of tribulations. My knight, not a prince by birth but by nature, more akin to a man who truly should be than any of the chosen for me to interact with tonight. If I chose you now, would that be unkind to everyone else? My parents might not be thrilled with my decision at first, but you've been loyal to us for years, and your father was just as faithful and true before you. If you'll do me the honor, I would like to choose you as my future husband, as the man who walks beside me, and who will eventually rule alongside me, protecting this kingdom in a slightly different way. Do you accept? You do. I'll admit that is quite relieving to hear. I was worried you might be disappointed or perhaps overwhelmed with the sudden questions and responsibility. You've been thinking about this for a while, have you? Well, it seems just as always. that you have seen the end result far before I was able to stumble upon it myself. But I am glad, so very glad to hear you feel the same. Yes, we should tell my parents that I have made my decision, but for now I think I would like to simply stay out here, enjoying the night with you. My knight, my prince, my future husband. If you are here, I don't need to see.